What does our government do? We issue a joint statement with the UK and France condemning Israel's military operation in Gaza. That statement was praised, honorable colleagues, by Hamas. This is now the second time that the terrorist organization has publicly expressed support for Canada's position. When a group responsible for the murder of over 1,200 civilians, including 8 Canadians, applauds your foreign policy, you're definitely on the wrong side of history and on the wrong path.
Have we checked the calendar lately? Are we in the 1930s? Or are we in the 21st century? Who would have ever thought that words would be spoken at a parliament, in this case in Canada, that Jews are no longer safe here? Who could have imagined, after everything we have been through in World War II, during the Holocaust, 6 million innocent people were slaughtered, murdered, gassed, burned, shot, mutilated, raped. And here we are. We declared never again. Please listen to the minister, member of the parliament in Canada, as he declares such words. Kindly subscribe to this channel and try to get as many of your friends as possible to help grow our channel so that we can continue with inspiration.
Honorable Senators, I rise today to plainly say what few others appear willing to say. Jews are no longer safe in our country. It's not that they feel unsafe, they are unsafe. And we as politicians are in no small part to blame. Anti-Semitism and Jew hatred is now expressed openly, shamelessly, and without restraint in Canada. It appears in our streets, on our campuses, on social media, and even in the rhetoric of certain Western political leaders who willingly or not repeat Hamas talking points to attack Israel. Recently, the Liberal government made the troubling decision to summon the Israeli ambassador not to express solidarity in the face of rising anti-Semitism, but to reprimand Israel after warning shots were fired in the vicinity of a diplomatic delegation that had veered off an agreed-upon path in a combat zone, a luxury not afforded the more than 1,200 innocent Israelis murdered on October the 7th, and certainly not afforded the 2 Israeli diplomatic staff who were murdered days later in Washington, D.C. by a pro-Hamas militant as they left a cultural event at the Jewish Museum. Meanwhile, here in Canada, Charlotte Cates, the international coordinator of a terrorist group, Samadoun, publicly justified the murder of those 2 young Israelis and brazenly insinuated that the same should happen here in Canada. But we're lecturing Israel. We hear chants in our streets, like from the river to the sea, and calls for intifada. These are not harmless slogans. What does our government do? We issue a joint statement with the UK and France condemning Israel's military operation in Gaza. That statement was praised, honorable colleagues, by Hamas. This is now the second time that the terrorist organization has publicly expressed support for Canada's position. When a group responsible for the murder of over 1,200 civilians, including 8 Canadians, applauds your foreign policy, you're definitely on the wrong side of history and on the wrong path. Let's be clear. This war could end tomorrow, and millions of Palestinians could be liberated from the tyranny of Hamas if that terrorist group laid down its weapons, released the hostages, and abandon its mission of destruction. That's the only statement Canada should be issuing and the only statement we should be supporting. Canada needs to stand unequivocally with its ally Israel, not only to bring home the hostages, but also to make it clear that Jewish Canadians that are here in Canada should be safe in their homes and in their country. Thank you.
Who has ever imagined that in the 21st century, 2025, we're going to have to utter those words, Jews are no longer safe here? And the words that he mentioned, are we going to be on the right side of the history or the wrong side of history? Canada, who's known to be a very benevolent, kind, gentle country, seems to have missed it this time. Some earlier governments in Canada were very supportive of Israel. They even published a stamp in honor of Israel. But and then the liberals come in, and we have the same problem here in America. When you go too far left, we have lost the compass. We have lost the target that we need to stay focused on. How in the world can we side with terrorists? How in the world can we side with the dark side of life? We are living in what potentially can be the best of times. The paradox of we are living in the best of times where there's unparalleled to all history to have what we have these days in forms of education, transportation, communication, food, technology, the internet, AI, and the list goes on and on and on. We can be living in the best of times, in messianic times, a taste of what life could be. And yet, we are turning it around to the darkest of times. We cannot allow history to repeat itself. Each one of us can make a difference. When you hear these words coming out from Canada, it's not so far away. They're our neighbors to the United States. They may be up north, but they're very near and close and personal. It is time that we all take this serious. Blot out anti-Semitism, blot out any type of racism, and encourage acceptance, embrace each other, regardless of race, color, or religion. We're all children of God. We all need to depend on each other and find the best in each other. Each one of us can make a difference. Do not underestimate the ability. Even a splinter of wood with the right fire can ignite a whole tree. You too can ignite and bring light to the whole world. As the title of our channel is, A Little Bit of Light Pushes Away a Lot of Darkness. Was created after the darkness when I survived the mass shooting at our synagogue on April 27, 2019, where I was nearly assassinated. It is at that moment that I realized a little bit of light pushes away a lot of darkness. God bless you. God loves you.